Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I wanted to share something with you I've struggled with myself and took me a long time to figure out. So I really hope I can help you avoid this mistake. And that is how you can properly build an organic presence and brand for your business so that you don't become an influencer and you're focused on likes and followers, but you're focused on making money and sales. And there's a key shift you have to make this work properly. And I'll show you how I did it once the wrong way, with 200,000 followers that were very non-targeted, and once the right way with like 2,000 followers that were very targeted and made us a lot of money. So let's jump right into it. As always, I wanted to give you a quick introduction up front before we start the video for everybody who's new in the channel. My name is Tobias Kadra. I'm a marketer from Germany, and I'm currently the head of sales and marketing for a software company here. I also have my own agency where I consulted clients up to $4 million a year. And I also grew pages to 200,000 followers, which I will show you in a minute, and how this affected and how you can do it the right and the wrong way. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right in and switch over to the board here, and I'll lay this out for you. So the usual way, and I can tell you from my experience how I started out. When people try to grow following on Insta or on Facebook, for example, on TikTok, whatever, they are very often focused on building the audience first, like getting followers, getting tons of likes. And let's call it the, let's make this black. Let's call it the influencer method. So you post tons and tons of content, very random. You hop on every trend. You try to get as many likes as possible, go as viral as possible. Yeah, you will get, if you do it successfully, tons of followers. But if you're a business, and we're talking about businesses on this channel, so if you want to be an influencer, it's a different topic. If you want to sell your product, your service, that's not what you want, because what you want is leads and clients and not followers. And the mistake I made in the beginning as well, and so many people make, is they go that influencer route and they post content and try to cater every trend and they get followers, but the followers don't convert. And the followers they get are interested in that trendy content, for example. And that's most of the times not going to work, or not going to work really well, because then when you make a pitch, if for example, then you want to close people and sell your product, the people aren't there because they aren't. Those people who like this kind of content are most likely not your ideal clients. So you put a ton of work into it, sit on a ton of followers, and you make very few sales. And that's where the opposite strategy I'd recommend you comes in, and that worked very well for myself and for our software company in this case, is that you do it the targeted method, basically. And I can give you an example. The first page I grew when I started out with this was a page about cars, and that was very in the beginning, right after high school. And I grew it to up to 200,000 followers. And then all the influencer opportunities came up where I could go to photo shoots and start a YouTube channel and stuff. But I was also working at a real business, let's say, at the time. And that was something that just interested me more. And I quickly realized, yeah, I have 200,000 followers. And of course, you can go for sponsorships and stuff. But if I wanted to sell something, and many people like do this on theme pages, for example, with like cheap AliExpress dropshipping products and stuff, you make a few sales maybe, but it's very, very ineffective because the audience is so broad and so non-targeted that it's very hard. Or for example, if you launch your own product, that you get those people to convert, because they are like everybody, but not the people you want for your service. And when I took over the role for the software company I'm with right now, and I can show you, on this page, I used a completely different approach, because here, as you can see, we only have 2,300 followers. But on this page, it's not set up like the influencer where you just try to go viral, but here it's just about generating clients. And here I made absolutely sure from when we started this page that every follower, almost every follower, like above 95%, is our ideal client and our target audience. And that's what made this page way more effective than the other one, because here this page already generated us thousands of dollars of recurring annual revenue just from these 2,300 followers almost. Because here, if I launch a reel or a story, for example, even for, I don't know, it's I think up to 300 views per story or something like this, all those 300 people, if in the influencer mindset, that's not a lot, but in this case, 300 people who are your ideal client and see your story is very, very valuable. And if just a few sign up for a free trial in our case, it's just already a win for us. And that's the key shift you have to make in your mind, how you approach all of this. You don't approach social from a social perspective anymore, where you want likes and vanity metrics and everything else. But you want targeted followers. You want to use social only as an advertising platform, organic advertising platform in this case, to reach your ideal clients and get only those as your followers, because then 50 followers can be very valuable. If 25% of them become a new client, that's very, very valuable for you, without you having to put in months and years of work to build this huge following or try to go viral someday. With most people, won't be your ideal client as a business owner. Again, this is not about trying to be an influencer or try to become famous, but just to sell your service or product. And that's worked very well for us in this case. And that's, again, the targeted approach. And here, with the content, you only focus on content around the problem your product or your service solves. You can make tips-based content, for example, or key mistakes to avoid. And social overall is split into two forms of content. There's education, entertainment. And of course, you can jump on some trends here with some entertainment content as well, for example. But it always needs to be connected to your target audience. So it's not out of place. And even if it's funny content, for example, the people who ideally should laugh about it are your ideal client. And it's again here with the cat meme, for example, it's the text up here and the whole meme is very targeted around physiotherapists in this case. And that's what works really well for us. And yeah, that's the approach I would recommend you if you're a business owner and you want to sell your stuff on the social platforms in an organic way. But that's the way I would recommend you to do it the right way. So the goal is not the ego stuff and to be famous. The goal is not famous or some social status. The goal is to make money. And that's in the business what it's all about. And of course, you have it also way easier because you're making content not around your personality and how funny you are and how sincere you are and how you feel that day. You make content around a problem and your product. So, and that's in my experience way easier to do from an emotional, mental perspective, because you're not trying to be you're not trying to be famous. You're not trying to be famous. You're not pretending to be something. You just make content around a specific problem, and you want to help people with that. And people who are interested in it and are your ideal client, those people should be interested in your content and follow you. And it makes this whole process just way smoother. And that's, again, the same thing I'm doing right here on YouTube at the moment. I'm making content for business owners who are confused or overwhelmed by their marketing and sales strategy and want to get a clear structure and the clear growth levers to drive it forward and the mistakes to avoid. And that's the only kind of audience I make content for. If fitness influencers, for example, come in and watch my content, that's not my ideal client. That's not useful to me, basically, because I want to build a business. Again, I don't try to be famous or try to become an influencer here. Again, so that's the key shift. So I really hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. I'd be glad to get back to you. And if you want me to take a look at your business and that we go over it and see how we can structure your marketing and sales process more efficiently and effectively, just click on the link in the description below, book a free call with me, and we'll take a look at it together. So that's it for this video, guys, and see you next week. Bye-bye.